Hey everyone, it's Keith McGinnis here with KCDC Designs. So that is a sample I came up with after the customer had sent me an inspiration photo, which is that right there, which actually came from Two Chicks Countertops, which is another Stone Coat user and epoxy contractor. And given a plug to Stone Coat, I've had my business full-time now as an epoxy countertop contractor for 4 years. I exclusively use Stone Coat products because, number one, I feel they're the best for many reasons. And I'm also a Stone Coat affiliate. So if you like what you see and my tutorials help, you'll find an affiliate link in the description of this video. And a little surprise bonus, if you put KCDC as a coupon code, you'll get 10% off. So anyway, I'm using Stone Coat Countertop Epoxy. What I'm doing now is getting my colors poured out. Those are the products I'm using. But I'm getting my colors poured out onto the surface to give me a base, to give me some undertone colors to work with. And I'm going to get them poured out, and then we'll get them melded, and we'll go on from there. All right, so let's get this melded. And don't forget to click that subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for your support. I really, really appreciate it. Now, as you can see with the pearl and the pearl shimmer, it's a fairly transparent color, and that's so my undertones, my undercoat paint is showing through, and that's okay because I don't want it white. Yeah, I'm a little light on product here. I don't have quite 3 ounces per square foot to cover the surface, but what I'm after here is an experiment. Customer sent me an inspiration photo, and I'll show a picture of it. You know what? I'll show a picture of it only if I get close. If I don't get close, you don't get to see what I was trying to recreate. All right, got our edges greased. I'm going to get my torch and we'll get some bubbles torched out of there. So right now, I really don't want to heat up the surface. I really don't want to get that very fluid. So I'm going to use our Fusion Relax spray. And we'll see how that does for getting some of those bubbles popped. And that appeared to do just a fine job. All right. So that is Fusion Relax, and that is to pop your air bubbles, and that can be purchased at RK3 Designs. It's an amazing product, and I have no air bubbles in there. They all popped, and I didn't have to add heat. So if you don't like using a torch, not comfortable with using a torch, Fusion Relax is your next best friend. Okay, so that actually looks really cool. I like what I've got for the undertones. Now, I normally would wait on this, but right now I just want to see how this is going to look. Now I'm going to fog it very lightly. And I'm going to fog it with black and white spray paint both because I want to get a granification effect on what I have down there for my undertones, because I don't want to do that after I've poured my vein in there. So again, this is an experiment and we'll see how it works. And then we're going to pour a vein in there. I think I'm going to make myself a little dirty pour. So that's exactly what I decided to do for my vein. So I mixed the Phantom Black, the Ebony Luster, and then the 2 whites that I have in there as well. And so I'm going to use that to make my vein instead of a solid color. All right, now, how are we going to run this vein? And then let's branch this off a little bit. Off that way. Now that's going to spread out, and now I want to use my torch because I do want that black to flow out a little bit. Already what I'm not real crazy about, because of kind of what I had in mind with this, is how I went back and forth with my dirty pour. Now, in time, if I can be patient and let that set and let that flow out a little bit, it might look okay. But again, I'm really light with product on the surface. I don't have 3 ounces per square foot. It's probably more like 2. If I had 3 ounces per square foot, this vein that I just poured in there is going to have a tendency to move more. So let's spritz that. And let's get some decent sized drops in there and see what that does, because those are some metallic colors. Oh, I just heated it up. I should wait. Yeah, that's spreading that out a little bit more. I like that. So then I decided to take my chestnut brown metallic mica powder and outline that vein. And again, I'm just kind of trying to think this stuff up as I go as to what's going to work, what's going to look good, and sometimes just those little things that we do that can just add some cool detail and maybe take it up another notch. It ended up looking pretty cool. And I just had another idea. Wow, that vein is looking a lot better now. I think I want to move this one off the surface. Oh, I just got an idea. I might do a little bit of hand melding here, because I really like what that did. Well, I told you I was going to wing it as I go, but when I moved that little bit off that end, I thought, man, that looks really cool. So I decided to just kind of hand meld and open up that vein just a little bit, because I know it's going to continue to soften. Now, like I said, I probably have 2 ounces per square foot on my undertone colors, so I know it's not going to soften up as much as it would if I had more material on the surface. All in all, it turned out okay, but just as a point to make. So now what I decided to do was to hit it with some white spray paint and some isopropyl alcohol. I'm kind of winging it as I go, but I really like the effect and I really like how it turned out, so let's go on. So now I want to get some color in there, and I've got a brown Alumilite dye, and then I also have some brown metallic mica powder. So I'm going to make a little dirty pour and add some white to it as well. I think that's enough, because I really don't want too big of a vein going through here. And I just want this to be an accent. I don't want it to overwhelm the black vein, because it really, really looks cool for the steps that I've taken so far. So with my brown, I'll call it my brown dirty pour, that's what I'm doing now, is kind of pouring through a vein through the middle, and you can see how that brown metallic is showing up quite a bit. And then I want to branch this off to kind of that little leg that went off to the side. And again, you know, I'll probably have to make some changes as we go here, but that gives me a start, and then I'll get an idea of what needs to be done at that point. Now, it's hard to tell that's brown, so I wonder if we need to get a little bit of white in there. Now I think what I want to do, I'm going to take some of my little dirty pour and I'm going to put some of that. And the brown ain't showing a lot of brown. So what if I put just to run a little bit of white through that? So because of how opaque the Alumilite brown dye is, you can almost see in the picture there where you can see the brown metallic shows up really well, but the opaque Alumilite brown dye, it almost looks black. So it really helped by taking some of the white and running that white through there, and it opened that up and allowed some of that Alumilite brown dye to kind of peek through or poke through, if you will. Ended up that it worked really well, and it's starting to come around. I'm starting to kind of like what I see here. Where, oh, where are you tonight? Why did, oh, it does bring that brown out. Does bring that brown out. Why did you leave me here all alone? I searched the world over and thought I found true love, and you met another, and I can't do it because I'll spit on my project. You was gone. Okay, now that looks kind of cool. So now I have some of that same chestnut brown mixed with 91% isopropyl alcohol. What would happen if I ran whoa, and it splatters a vein up through there. And then take a little bit of our black spray paint, fog that very lightly. And fracture. Now I could take some white spray paint and we can run a vein. Let's try to run a vein right here. So that ended up looking really cool. And the white spray paint vein acts a lot differently than other colors. So I actually don't need to use a heat gun to open that up. And I'll show you what that looks like in the final product. I think that looks pretty cool. What do y'all think? What I learned on this, I want a little bit more product on the surface. So I need to make sure, for instance, this is 4 square feet, so that would be 12 ounces at 3 ounces per square foot. So I want to make sure that I would have 12 ounces. Then I can add in my veins and add in, you know, whatever else I want to do. But these are the basic colors that the customer wanted. The brown is now showing up more, so that's really cool. I do like the fracturing, which looks really cool. Now I could go another step and I could chop that with my stick. And before chopping it, I took a picture, so there would be a photo I could show the customer without the chop and with the chop and give them the choice as to what they liked better. Ended up turning out really cool. See how I'm kind of picking that up and then dragging it? Because it makes little hairline fractures that come off of it, which looks pretty cool. So again, because I'm a little light of product on the surface, those aren't going to soften up as much as they normally would. So by hitting with the torch again is going to make that a little bit more fluid. So those chop lines I just put in there will have more of a tendency to soften and not stay put. So I'm just going to stop there and we'll see what happens. All in all, I like it. I mean, I really like the vein that goes through there. I think it's pretty cool. I'm going to stop here. We'll do a flyover. I like the fracturing that's in there. I could do that again once this cools off. I could do a little bit more fracturing on the inside, but I don't think I want to. I think I like it. I think I like it the way this. Gloves are coming off, baby. Gloves are coming off. All right, so let's do a final flyover and see what it looks like. And it did look a little bit different later on in the day when that started to soften, but I'm really, really happy the way it turned out. Remember when I took my hand and I kind of melted out that vein? And also remember the size of that vein when I first poured it out, of how much that opened up. The fracturing that I did with the white spray paint, the black spray paint really added a lot. And then also where I took the isopropyl alcohol that had the chestnut brown metallic mica powder mixed in with it, and I kind of spritzed a straight line going through there, that added a lot as well. So there's a lot I'm going to be able to kind of shorten up, per se, when I do the customer's large top. The fractures that you see in there when I use the Bondo spreader, I really wasn't crazy about it when I first did it, but I really like it. Customer absolutely loved it. And the piece really, really turned out nice, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Considering I really didn't know what I was going to do to try to replicate the inspiration photo the customer sent. Customer really likes it. The chop lines I put in there, the customer actually picked that out as something that they really liked. So it's a go. And so now we'll get ready to pour that on the full countertop set. So thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you have subscribed, thank you so much for all your support. I really, really appreciate it. This is Keith McGinnis with KCDC Designs, and we will see you on the next video.